Okay, good morning, algebra students. This is going to be notes for lesson 3-7, the second part. So last time we started here on 3-7, this would be the back page of that in your note packet. Oops, sorry about that. And we're going to start here with problem 4. So last time we were talking about solving absolute value equations. This time we're going to work with inequalities, okay? So absolute value signs that have the inequality in it. So a couple of things. Number one, let's write this down. For absolute value inequalities, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to split them and solve two different inequalities. One of them will be negative, so we're going to flip the inequality for the negative solution, and then we're going to solve each. So if you have to pause this and write that down, go ahead and do that. But I'm going to show you here on problem number 4, and then I will do a separate video to help you with some of the homework assignment. Okay, so for problem number 4, it says, what are the solutions to the absolute value of 8n is greater than or equal to 24? Graph the solutions. Okay, so what you're going to do for an inequality is you are going to, since this is all inside the absolute value symbol, we're going to do this. We're going to do 8n, and then we're going to make it greater than or equal to 24, just as is, as we see it. But because it's an inequality, we also then have to solve 8n, and then we're going to flip the inequality is less than or equal to negative 24. And this is what I mean by flip the inequality for the negative solution. And then we're going to solve it like we have solved inequalities before. So in order to solve this one, we would divide this side by 8 and divide the other side by 8. We don't have to flip anything because that's positive. So n is greater than or equal to 3 is going to be one side. This same thing, we're going to divide by 8 and divide by 8, and we get n is less than or equal to negative 3. Okay, and now we're going to graph it and decide if this is an and or an or. So the one thing you want to pay attention to now when you're graphing the inequalities is a lot of times when we do it like this, our numbers are flipped. So our smallest number we need on here is negative 3. And our largest is positive 3. So negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and so we're going to look at this. N is greater than or equal to 3. That is going to be a closed circle because of the fact that there is a line underneath there. So we're going to close the circle around that. And this arrow, this is the right way that we can use. So this arrow is pointing to our right. So that one's going to point to our right. Okay, and this one, same thing, closed circle, but around the negative 3. So we're going to close that. And this arrow is pointing to our left. Our arrows are pointing opposite directions here. So we know that this inequality is an or inequality. So our final answer for this would be, we would write it like this. You should get in the habit of doing the negative first, or the lowest first, I should say, not just the negative. N is less than or equal to negative 3, or n is greater than or equal to positive 3. And that's how we do that. Okay, so for the sake of time today, we are going to not do problem 5. However, I will post another video to get you started on the homework if you would like to watch it. Okay, hopefully that was helpful.